poop problem facing humanity, pun intended. And I just want to warn, if you're eating or you just ate, you probably want to put that food away. Joining me in Michigan Matters today is Michigan State University professor and filmmaker Troy Hale. And so, Troy, you are the filmmaker and director of the documentary, we're going to say Poop Saves the World, which has won 2 regional Emmy Awards. So how does this documentary focus on the environmental impacts that human waste can have?
You know, when we're coming up with film ideas, we're always trying to find something original, and we came up with this idea. Originally, it was called Poop to Power because there are a plant you can generate power from that, and we have a plant at MSU that does that. So it was just a weird idea that came up one day, and you start doing some research, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. Nobody's done this film yet.
Okay, well, let's start with that. Poop to power, you say it can help with electricity. What are the benefits before we go into the crappy impacts of this?
Well, it's obviously the most renewable resource we can think of.
Yep.
So that's a really
Everyone
interesting
does it.
Yeah, we're not going to run out of it.
Nope.
So that was one very interesting aspect of it. But there's all kinds of things. It's something we don't think about. You know, we just flush the toilet and it goes away and we don't think about it anymore. One of the biggest inventions in the world is water treatment plants.
Yeah.
And that allows, you know, all these big cities to, you know, New York City, all that kind of stuff. If it wasn't for us being able to get rid of our waste, our cities would be really, really messy.
And it hasn't always been like that. And I do want to note, not everyone has the luxury of having a toilet,
Yes.
right? I mean, think about how many times you use the restroom per day. Not everyone has that.
Yeah.
So I actually watched your documentary a little while ago, and before, they were actually throwing it out their windows onto the sidewalks.
Yes.
That's pretty gross.
Well, the toilet's not actually that old. It's 170 years old or something like that. And, you know, we've been around for a long time, so we had to do something before that.
All right, so we are doing things now with the wastewater treatment,
Yep.
but what are the negative impacts of all the human waste and feces?
Right. Well, you talked about not everybody has a toilet. 60% of humans on Earth still have no access to toilet or running water. So it still is a really massive problem. And because, you know, a lot of people poop very near to their water sources or food sources, that causes a lot of diseases in the world. So it is extremely dangerous for that kind of thing. So having toilets is actually a health benefit for us.
All right, well, we want to share more information on where people can go to watch the documentary. And it's not just that. You have another documentary as well called, well, Fart.
Yes.
So what do people need to know about Poop Saves the World?
It's on Apple TV. We have it actually in 10 countries around the world right now. So the distribution went out last year, and it's blown me away. We just got picked up in South Korea, so they're going to have to translate our film, and it was in Japan in theaters. So it's just amazing. But in the U.S., you can type in the full name of the film, which is now a mistake that I called it that because I can't say it on television. But if you search the film, you'll find it on Apple TV and Amazon and all kinds of things like that, anywhere where you stream films.
All right. Hey, Troy, thank you so much for joining me in Michigan Matters today and sharing why poop matters. We're going to send it over to First Alert meteorologist Colton Sirkaraki because we don't have poopy temperatures in the forecast.
Well, I was going to try to come up with a joke to say